Now, here we are at the end of the tumultuous week. Very over dramatic. Friday, week 11 of the year is complete, and just as I have alluded to, this is probably going to be the shortest one of these I've done so far because I'm excited. I'm leveraging the flexibility of being a business owner today, and I'm going to hop off early and going to go away with the family for a little what's it called, staycation for St. Patrick's Day weekend. So anyhow, I've got the old win the week in my hand. I wanted to read through this because I think it's a great example of the theme of this is target setting or goal setting and putting too much pressure on yourself, right? So I said, I'll be honest, I think part of the reason why this week has always felt like I'm chasing my tail is because of this. So this came up for me originally about 6 months ago when I said to someone that I'd set myself targets for the business and I felt under pressure by them, and they essentially alluded to the fact that good target setting should motivate you, it shouldn't make you stressed, and completely agree with that point. This week, these aren't targets, these are meant to be guideposts for me to steer me in the right direction. They're not meant to put me under stress. But what I wrote down for this week, just so you know, I'm not even going to read all of these specifically, but there were 4 points. So one was around content creation. For some reason I decided to 5 YouTube videos, fair enough, that's the norm. I did 4. I tried to layer up on level up on the LinkedIn production. Didn't work. There's no reason for me to put that pressure on myself. There was no reason this week to specifically say I needed to create more LinkedIn content, but I did it for some reason. Fitness wise, 2 or 3 runs, even that in itself is a funny statement. 2 or 3 runs and 5 workouts. Now, I'm not going to do that in a week. I don't need to. I have no desire to. I'm not training for anything. It will not bring me additional benefits to my life of doing that. If I get 3 workouts and a run in a week, that is absolutely fantastic. Send a meaningful message to any ICP connections from 2023. In fairness, I actually more or less did this. I say more or less. I got to November, I think, and I shortlisted a lot of people. So this was probably the biggest what went well of the week. The reason I'm doing this, by the way, is also to kind of do a what went well, what didn't go well. So what went well was, I felt like I could make good progress on this front. The reason I'm doing this is that I think something that I see a lot of with agency owners as well is that they have this pool or this prospecting list of partners or potential clients they want to work with. And sometimes I think we overcomplicate that in the sense of we always try and add more to it, or we feel like if we don't have any success, so say you've got a list of 1,000 companies and your initial outreach to those 1,000 companies doesn't work, the natural reaction is to add more to that list as opposed to go back and try and work with those 1,000 again. At this point, I'm relatively confident that the people I have connected to me on LinkedIn, there are enough of those people that are the right people, that if I just spent all my time trying to work with those people and added no one else, I think my business would probably be pretty solid for the next few years. So that was a bit of an insight or a breakthrough for me, because it just means I have to be more conscious of the people who've already connected with me from, say, 3, 6, 9 months ago, as opposed to trying to consistently add way more people to my network. And also the way LinkedIn works, which I realized I meant to look at this more, I think it only allows you to follow 1,000 people at one point in time, and I wondered, are they the most recent 1,000 people to an extent? I don't know how that works. That wouldn't really make sense in itself, but anyway, I'll check that out separately. And then the last one on here was just about confirming any remaining activity for March and do any prep and actions for clients. Yeah, that's done. So by all means, some of these actions all went well this week. I would say I did the client work just as well as I usually do. Made good progress in terms of moving things along the pipeline a little bit, and at the start of the week I had an hour discovery session, so I've got a couple more of those coming up, which is good this month. But really, if I look at the week overall now, yeah, it was just a frustrating week in some ways, but it's past now, it's gone. So that's it. It's happened, and it's just another week. As far as the record books goes, it will show us the week off. The week off the 11th of March. And it was. I think there's plenty that went well in that week. Plenty of. I suppose I learned a lot about myself again, and it reminded myself of a few things that I'll struggle with, and particularly on Tuesday, where I did the one thing I said I wouldn't, which was layer on the expectation that I'll make up for Monday. Anyway, talked about that all already. So in terms of the goal setting piece, just to wrap this up, one of the main things I do with people I work with is kind of help them understand where they need to be in, say, 3, 6, 9 months time. And that to me is the sweet spot's usually 3 or 6 months, because it actually is not that far away. So 90 days, we talk about this a lot in relation to 90 days. So if I say 3 months to a business owner, but that actually means, what is it? So it's 12 weeks roughly, 13 weeks, whatever it is, 2 weekend days. Most people don't work weekends that much. Some people do a little bit, but my point is you have about 2/3 to 3/4 of that is actually time that's going to be spent working on things, and obviously all the time that an owner has cannot be put towards the stuff that I'm working with them on. So in reality, you don't put that much time in a 3-month period towards these things that we say are really important. And because of that, I think you tend to overestimate what you can achieve in a 90-day period, which is part of the reason why when I do it with people, the goal setting exercise or milestone setting, whenever, we always try and make sure that there's only really 1 or 2 key things for that period. And ironically, in the case of a week, it's not milestone, it's more just what will help me make sure this is a good week. The same principle applies. You can't overstretch yourself. You'll only get to the end of the week and feel a bit down or frustrated by the lack of progress or what it feels like. So you just have to be really mindful. I think you're probably better. I know there'll be plenty of people who disagree with this, but you're probably better setting your targets slightly lower than what you know is actually possible, and set them for what is more realistically going to happen. If that makes sense. I don't know if that's quite the right way to phrase it, but that's the way I'm thinking of doing it more going forward, because that was not reflective of what a good week actually was for me. A good week for me would have actually been just 2 of those points. So I suppose in some ways maybe I had a great week. But yeah, anyway, that's it for today. I don't have too much else to share. No video Monday, public holiday, back on Tuesday, 4 videos next week. And I'm excited. There's going to be a lot of, I've already got a few content ideas. Got a few cool things I'm going to do on LinkedIn over the coming weeks as well, to try some different stuff out. And yeah, that's that. Enjoy the long weekend if you're in Ireland.